When I wake, I pray for another day. I pray for another way to make pay for my sister and brother say. So we live in another state, another place where I can stay.
What up, though? It's that nigga Mom, man. We're about to react to something totally different than what I usually do. I usually do music. I did start something new with, different type of beers that I be trying and stuff. But, yeah. We about to get into conversation what's been going on with the Megan Thee Stallion situation. Do I have a lot? I don't have too much to say about it, but I knew she was lying from the get-go. It didn't take for new evidence to come out for me to read in between her lies. I don't see how people didn't see she was lying, but we about to get right into this shit. And shout out to Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews, man. He been doing this for a minute, bro, and I've been fucking with his channel for a while. So go check him out. Go check out MTR. But let's go.
As the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion case is absolutely heating up, and I told you guys a couple of days ago, after Representative Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna said that there was additional evidence after pressuring Gavin Newsom, the governor of the state of California, to pardon Tory Lanez. She said that there was evidence, never before seen, never before released, that should have been entered. She has recently dropped some receipts on her Twitter account, so we're going to go through right now.
Look at these receipts.
Mind you, I'm going to try to be as objective as what I possibly can. You guys already know the way that I feel about this particular case. But we're going to go through and dissect, all right? Breaking, she writes. This is a new sworn affidavit that has emerged from Kelsey Harris' former bodyguard, and it shatters the original narrative used to convict Tory Lanez. According to the testimony, Kelsey fired the gun, not Tory. In the affidavit, the bodyguard
makes sense.
Says Kelsey Harris confessed to firing 3 shots into the air during the altercation. Tory then tried to de-escalate the situation by pushing her hand down, causing 2 more shots to accidentally fire. Now, we're going to go over the affidavit right now, as well as the home footage, the security cam footage, here in a quick second. Now, here is the actual affidavit. This appeal was filed by the attorneys of Tory Lanez. Now, we're going to have to remove some of the address information because it's right here. But it says here on number 4, I have firsthand knowledge of the facts in question that took place on the 2 days that Mrs. Kelsey Harris testified, which was December.
I feel like I need glasses. Or is it me? Or that font look a little bit blurry and small at the same time.
14th and 15th, 2022, which is the basis of the above cited proceedings. Now, I know this is small, guys. Bear with me. I actually don't know how to zoom in yet on this on these Apple products, but it says I work for Elite Security Incorporated for approximately 2 years and longer than this for the owner of this company on various similar projects. Ms. Kelsey Harris hired Elite Security to accompany her to the court 2 days she was testifying. This is the only time she has been a client. I have not worked for Daystar Peterson nor Megan Pete. Number 7, I heard these statements as we were in the car getting a bite to eat after court. We went to a restaurant named Fixings. Number 8, Ms. Harris and the father of
It is crazy. We got a Fixings here. I tried to get a job there back in like March. Yeah, back in March, I tried to get a job up in there.
Child were the only people in the car. She later also said similar statements to her attorney of record.
Well, I'm not the Fixings where they was at. The Fixings here in Detroit. They just opened one in Detroit back in March. Just to clarify.
In front of the courthouse and in the cafeteria, she was nervous and speaking generally, asking questions. Her lawyer was telling her it would be okay and she could plead the 5th if she was uncomfortable. Number 9, I heard Ms. Harris's question. How can I not tell on myself, she said, and how am I protected if I tell certain things? This gives you a lot more information into why she was seeking immunity. The father of the child explained immunity to her. It writes, Number 10, at Fixings, Ms. Harris stated that she shot the gun 3 times in the air, and Daystar Peterson ran up to her and grabbed her arm, pushing it down, causing the gun to fire twice more. 11. I have not said these statements until now, as I have heard rumors of the threats that others had received from being involved in this case. Also, I did not want to lose my employment, as I relied on such to care for my children. I was trying not to eavesdrop, but I cannot help but overhear these statements. Number 12, generally, elite security does follow confidentiality, yet we do not have such an agreement on file, and I decided to come forward as this has been weighing on my conscience, and I have decided the right thing to do is to come forward with this information. This is a sworn affidavit, and it says, the bottom respectfully submitted on the 28th day of August 2024 with Brady James's name signed. Now, the side of the internet that's on Megan Thee Stallion's side is saying, listen, all of the...
He need to be protected, bro, and Amber Rose, because Amber Rose kind of brought it to the light as well.
Information that Rep. Luna is coming out with has already been stated in front of the court of law, but this hasn't. His written sworn testimony hasn't. Someone that overheard something but was scared to come forward for fear of his own life and perhaps the family that he protects over, and as well as losing his job. Congresswoman Luna then goes on to write, this claim matches the Ring camera audio from the night of the incident. We're going to go over that. 3 shots, a pause, 2 more shots. There is no dance be heard. There is no admission from Tory. Only the sound of a chaotic moment. Now, that aligns with this new...
Yeah.
Everything is being watched from the basement.
Hopefully you get up out of it.
What were you doing there?
I was targeting certain individuals.
But when certain people want you, man, when certain people want you, dog, in that place with power and shit, they do everything with their power. And that's how he even in there in the first place.
Sworn statement. So let's review this video right here. 3 shots. Then this 2. Let's listen one more time. And what's interesting about the audio is that between the first 3 shots and then the next 2 shots, there's something that's being said. Yeah. Now, it either sounds like stop it, but it can also sound like dance B. But there are people on the internet that's saying that that's the dance B that Megan Thee Stallion said Tory screamed.
But if Tory didn't have a gun, how he telling you to dance, bitch? Don't make sense.
The moment of firing.
Everything happens so fast.
So, okay.
And all I hear is this man screaming he said, dance, bitch. And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh, my God.
To me, it sounds like stop it, all right? So if we listen to the testimony from the security guard, Kelsey starts firing into the air.
And the thing is, we don't know these people, but I think she's lying. You know what I'm saying? I think Megan Thee Stallion is lying.
Tory says stop it, runs over, tries to put his hand to lower it, and then 2 more shots ring off. She follows up. The original DNA report from the firearm, it showed Tory Lanez was excluded as a match for the magazine and inconclusive on the gun. Now, if he did fire 5 shots, one of these would have, at least one of these would have come up as a match. Both of them should have come up as a match, but with no match for the magazine, inconclusive for DNA on the gun, without the firearm in the courtroom, without bullets being found. This is just coming across as even more fishy. She goes on to say this supports the theory that someone else, parentheses Kelsey, fired it, especially with her confession and the matching shot pattern on the audio. In previously deleted posts, Megan Thee Stallion has been on record saying that she was walking away from the situation. She was walking away from the car, and then she heard the shots. But at the same junction, she was shot in the back of her feet. How do you get shot in the back of your feet, but you know who shot you? Makes no sense.
I was walking away from the car, and I got shot in the back of my foot. She doesn't ever show the other foot that she claims she got shot in. And I'm not trying to, again, I hate that this is coming off like I'm trying to come for her and whatever cases, but this is what I'm having to endure and watch when I'm knowing certain facts. The other way, How can you even identify criminal or malicious intent if you're not seeing what's going on behind you? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'm looking at this and I'm just like, yo, this is not right. Like, and I do see when people are getting at her, and there's times when I'm like, damn, like, do I help her or do I speak up and say, yo, don't talk about her, whatever the case is, but if I do that, then it's like I'm coming off like I'm guilty. And then if I say something about having remorse, like I would like to, or saying something about certain things, it's like I come off like I'm guilty of something that I didn't do. So I had to be quiet on certain places. Now, I need y'all to really take this in and understand like how this works at this point.
She goes on to say that the forensic evidence tells the real story here. The firearm had 4 DNA profiles.
Yeah, I know he ain't do that shit, man. But, hey, the court of public opinion.
2 male and 2 female. The main male contributor, 90%, was not Tory. 0 fingerprints from Tory. 0% of Tory's DNA on the magazine. Just a 0.01% chance of Tory's DNA on the firearm. Kelsey Harris had gunshot residue on her hands, but her DNA and fingerprints were never tested. So now we have a sworn affidavit from Kelsey's own bodyguard driver.
Before
audio
even
footage
taking
that
it
confirms the bodyguard's account. DNA evidence that doesn't place
on her
Tory
ass.
as the shooter, and yet he still sits in prison. This is no longer justice. This is a miscarriage of it. Free Tory Lanez. She stood up on business again and added Governor Newsom. Now, what's super important within all of this, as we all are beginning to understand this new information, is what did Kelsey say during testimony 3 years ago? Let's cross-reference the two.
But he's saying it loud, and so Megan can hear this. So that kind of stirred her back up. So now they're arguing back together. At this point, it's uncontrollable. Can't stop it.
And do you remember anything at this point that was being said between them?
At this point, they're arguing about each other's artistry as a career as an artist. She's telling him like you're only this and that because you're on a remix with
Patty.
Harlow. And he's telling her things about her career as an artist, which I can't remember what he was telling her, but they just started hitting each other with their career as an artist. So now we're at the final, the next stop where the incident occurs. And this time Tory demands Quan to let us out. He's like, let these hoes out, let these bitches out the car. This is my car. And so we're like, okay. Like, okay, we'll get out. So he pulled the car over, and Megan jumps out of her seat, which is the front seat. I open up my door, which I'm behind Megan. And when you're getting out of a vehicle, you're not really just like looking at any direction. You're just kind of getting out the vehicle, Especially, we didn't expect anything to happen next, so we're just getting out the vehicle. I get out of my side. No sooner do you know, you start hearing gunshots going off. I look up about it was 5 gunshots. I look up maybe at the second or third gunshot. That's when I look up. And you see Tory. He's now in the front seat. I guess he must have jumped over. It was very smooth transition because we didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. And he's leaning over.
That shit don't make sense.
The door's open. And
that don't make sense. What, he was dropped or he was in the back seat with Megan?
Leaning over, like, the door window.
Which door? Is it the rear
right,
door?
the front right. So where Megan was sitting.
Okay, so his door's open. In the
my
door's
open in the back, and the front door is open to where Megan got out. The front right passenger.
Both doors on the passenger side.
So he said, get these bees out the car, and then just started to fire on Megan?
Are open, correct. So.
And is he shooting through the window or over the top of the door?
No, he's shooting over the top of the door. So
over the top of the door would be the rear passenger door?
The right front
Okay.
passenger. So, again, as I said, he must have jumped, or I don't know how he did it, and he was leaning over the front passenger door.
Where were you standing at this point?
At this point, I'm standing kind of like my body's still like to the side behind the door, the rear passenger door. So I would say like my left side was the rear passenger, and my right side was.
Yeah, hear that shit. That shit don't sound. It don't sound like a good story. It's not a solid story.
The this is the door, and
Are you still partially in the car at this point?
no, I'm out of the vehicle. I'm out of the vehicle. I'm just not around my door yet.
Yeah.
So
Do you know where's Megan?
So I was about to speak on Megan. So she was walking away when this happened, but by the third, fourth shot, and by the time I look up, she's facing towards us, and I've described it like a deer in headlights. I'm short. I'm 4'11". The vehicle is kind of a little raised up, higher than me, so I can't really see. I can only see from her chest up. That's all I can see.
You didn't spend the night at the jail, right?
Definitely spent the night. Well, I mean, I was there all night.
It was that same night, though.
Oh yes, that
Yeah.
same.
So
that
then
same,
you got released like
that
after
morning.
several hours that
Correct.
morning. Okay.
So when you get released, at some point you made a trip over to the hospital, correct?
So when I get released, they released me and Quan together, and outside of the jail, Quan said he made a comment and was like, "Money talks" or something similar to those words. I don't know. I was confused. He also said that Tory was trying to protect me, and I said, "Protect me from."
Lock these bitches up. That's all I can say. We ain't even about to watch the rest of this. Wait, let me see how much longer. Yeah, because after this, I heard enough. Man. Lock them up. Lock them up. Because he in there wrongfully. And these motherfuckers knew. So, with that being said, man, free Tory. Like, subscribe, and share. Stay people productive and positive. And much love.
When I wake, I pray for another day. I pray for another way to make pay for it, my sister and brother say. So we live in another state, another place where I can stay.